Hey everybody, it's Robert coming to you with another adventure into history. Today I'm at the Searcy family cemetery, but amazingly enough, I'm with 3 generations of Searcy family descendants here. You've never been to this cemetery before. Mrs. Donna Searcy Wood reached out to me about seeing this cemetery, and you've brought your daughter and granddaughter.
I have.
With your 3 generations.
Yes, so this is my daughter Lindsay and my granddaughter Grace. So these are my 4 times great-grandparents. It would be Lindsay's 5 times and Grace's 6 times. Searcy family originally immigrated to America from Nottingham, England in the 1733 is the date we have. I'm sure it's close to that. They lived in Granville County, North Carolina. And then William, who we see here, he's the patriarch of this branch of the family. He came to Georgia in early 1820s, and went to Baldwin County, Milledgeville. He was a school teacher, got married to a lady from Twiggs County, who is Miss Sarah that we'll see here. He served as an assemblyman for 12 consecutive terms. And then in 1826 or 7, Governor Troup appointed him to do the land lottery for Talbot County. And as a result of that, he got this property.
And we've been out here before to this cemetery with Mike Buckner, who is also related to the Searcy family, but he wasn't sure how.
Right, we haven't quite figured that out, but I have seen his name in some documents for property. So the Buckner name.
Yeah.
So William, like I said, he was born in 1777 in Granville County, North Carolina, and then came here, and he lived a very long life, was very successful with his property, and he died November 16th, 1871. 94 years old. That's impressive.
Yeah, it is. And he's got a marker that was made by Artope and Son in Macon, Georgia. It came in on the railroad. Mm-hmm. They made a lot of the fine markers out here.
The branch that we are descended from is his son, Daniel Bartlett Searcy, who he had already moved on. He was in medical school by the time they got this property. So he never lived here. He actually settled in Monroe County.
Gotcha. Because there's another cemetery that...
There is, the Cersei Thweet Cemetery in Monroe County. And we know where the property is, but it's a big piece of property and we're not sure where on the property. So we're hoping to see it tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can find it and then visit it.
This is Miss Sarah. She actually went by Sally. She was from Twiggs County, married William, and they ended up here when the land lottery went through, and they had 10 children. And I think, if I remember right, I think at least 8 of them made it to adulthood, which is kind of unusual at that time. So she is my 4 times great-grandmother. She would be Lindsay's 5 times great-grandmother, and Grace's 6. Crazy. This is their son, William Harris Searcy. He is the one who actually took over the farming responsibilities as his parents aged, and they lived in the old plantation house. And you've done a video before. He rebuilt the house that is there today. He's the one who did that.
Blessed are the dead who die in the Lord, on his grave.
And this is his first wife, Sarah Antoinette. Sweet was her maiden name. She passed away, and then several years later he married Missouri Maxwell, and she went by Zoo. But she's buried in the old Maxwell Cemetery near here. Daniel Bartlett Searcy and Allie King Searcy, Daniel is the son of Sarah and William Harris. So these are his grandparents.
So Daniel Bartlett Searcy, August 16th, 1861 to November 6th, 1943. The epitaph says, "An honest man's the noblest work of God." And you said that the Daniel Bartlett name was used a lot.
Reused a lot. We have cousins in Griffin, Georgia, that they always had Uncle Bart, but I believe he went by Dan. And I'm basing that on Mike Buckner's. He said he remembered them talking of Uncle Dan. It's kind of cool to know what they went by, you know?
Right.
Like somebody named Shadrach might be known as Shady.
Exactly. Yeah. That's right.
And Allie King was his wife.
Born November 17th, 1865, and died February 1st, 1940. At the bottom, it says, "Her children rise up and call her blessed."
And this is their son, Charles Hatcher Searcy. We have his World War I draft card, but he was at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa in pre-med, and he passed away in 1918 from yellow jaundice is what the paperwork says, and I just did a little research. It sounds like it was probably yellow fever.
Charles H. Searcy, May 20th, 1898 to November 11th, 1918. The epitaph simply reads, "Here rests a man."
Life cut very short by something antibiotics could have cured. Yeah. Sad. So this is John Smith Searcy. He is the son of William and Sarah. He was a pastor. So he was a Methodist all his life, and apparently there was a big debate raging at the time about baptism and should you be sprinkled or immersed. Well, the Methodists were sprinkling and the Baptists were immersing. So he asked one of his mentors, he said, "What do you think the word baptism means?" And the guy said, "I think it means you're immersed." So he said, "That's it, I'm changing to Baptist." So he was the minister at Horeb Church, which is not far from here either.
His epitaph reads, "Cheerfully he gave his being up and went to share the holy rest that waits a life well spent."
And this is his wife, Martha Jane Searcy. She was a Thweet. The Searcys and Thweets are really intertwined a lot over the years.
Martha Jane Searcy, born April 13th, 1823, died June 16th, 1900. As a star that is lost when the daylight is given, she hath faded away to shine brightly in heaven. That is a sweet
That is very sweet.
epitaph. And they have a center stone here which says mother, father, and mother at the top, and the Searcy name at the bottom.
And it's amazing, this fence is, still here. I mean, it's obviously old. I have no idea how old, but it's that cemetery fence that you see a lot, just.
Yeah, it looks, I think this is going to be early 1900, maybe 1920s style
yeah.
fence. It is a beautiful cemetery, and again, I think it's really neat to be standing out here with 3 generations of family, because we see so many of these places that are so lost. And,
yes. And we're so appreciative to the property owners that they allowed us to come see this. It's like I told you, it's a little emotional. It really is.
Okay, so we are just down the road more or less from the Searcy family cemetery, and now we've come to the Maxwell Cemetery. I think you mentioned earlier.
Missouri Maxwell was the second wife of William Harris Searcy. After his wife Sarah Antoinette Thweet died, he married Zoo, they called her affectionately, and she's buried here. She was a Maxwell.
So this went from very, very easy cemetery to access to traditional adventures into history. We're going to try to find her grave up here in the weeds. Okay, so I'm going to actually try to rip some of these blackberry vines out of the way. So we're trying to dive into the cemetery here.
Well, there's one right there.
Yep. All right, here we go. All right, so this is Mrs. W.H. Searcy. This is who we're looking for, right?
Yeah, that's her.
First one. Mrs. W.H. Searcy. Searcy? Mm-hmm. Searcy?
Searcy.
Nay, Zoo Maxwell.
Yep.
And Z-O-U Maxwell. July 14th, 1848 to January 8th, 1904. And she was second wife?
She was the second wife of William Harris Searcy.
So this is A.S. Maxwell, born April 16th, 1862, and died February 7th. I don't know what that death date is on this one. It's broken, but I'm sure it's listed on Find a Grave, maybe 1900 maybe. Then over here, this is sacred to the memory of Benson Maxwell, born December 11th, 1799, died July 16th, 1875. So he's 76 years old. And he was apparently the patriarch of this property, and this family here built the old house that you can't see for the sweet gum trees. There's a grave there. There's a grave there, back there. There's a lot of graves is what I'm trying to tell you. And it's really overgrown. Now there's even more back here. So those are newer, 1940s. It says Maxwell at the bottom. It's an obelisk. The top is fallen off. There's no name on the top. All right, let's get to this one right here.
Martha Maxwell, 1833 to 1895.
All right, so there we go. This is John Thomas Maxwell, 1945, right there.
We do have two other relatives here.
Oh, really? Who?
Yeah, Ella Virginia Maxwell was a Searcy, and she was married to Walter Stinson Maxwell. And they're both in here, according to Find a Grave.
All right. This is P.F. Maxwell, born March 20th, 1859, died February 14th, 1911. That's going to be that one probably. This one over here is Maddie Thompson, wife of P.F. Maxwell, August 17th, 1862 to March 3rd, 1930. At the top, it's got Order OES, which is Order of Eastern Stars, on it.
And then right behind you is another headstone right there.
Need a weed eater. Willie Will Lewis, WILLEWIS Maxwell. That's a grave from 1989.
Okay.
Right there.
There's another whole row on the other side of the patriarch here too.
All right,
I don't know how you're going to get to it.
I'm gonna try to get into this one real quick. All right, so this one is all covered up. This is to the memory of E.B. Maxwell, consort of B. Maxwell. That's gonna be Benson Maxwell, born October 12th, 1802. Died March 21st, 1862. There's two more in there. That looks like a child's grave right there, but we'll circle back to that. Reverend Simeon
Yeah.
Maxwell,
Yep, I saw him on here.
December 14th, 1829 to December, he died on his birthday, 1896. Maxwell. There's that one. There's a whole nother row back there. Let's see if we can't get into this. Elizabeth, is this one of the ones?
No,
No? Okay.
Ella.
Elizabeth Stinson Maxwell, born April 1836, died February 1902. All right. Elizabeth E. Maxwell, August 27th, 1867 to June 27th, 1931. Come back to that one. So we go into the thicket. This is Brer Rabbit's house here. Okay, here you go.
Is that Miss Ella? Yep,
Ella,
sure
yep.
is.
Ella Searcy Maxwell,
Yep.
August 20th, 1865 to January 7th, 1955. Let's see. Well, we have to actually that back. I need to crawl in. Walter Stinson Maxwell.
That was her husband.
June 1st, 1858 to June 7th. 6 days before his birthday. 6 days after his birthday, 1924.
Remember I told you one of the Cersei girls was married to Jim Leonard, the son of Roderick Leonard. This is her sister.
Okay. So that looks like the end of the row here. We looked at that one. There's another one over there. This is Brer Rabbit's house right here. A couple timber rattlesnakes in there. So I can handle the leaves and the dirt. Blackberries are where
They're
I'm
treacherous.
not happy with those. Did I not look at this one? No, I did look at that one. So there's one in there. Missed this child's grave. Looks like a child's grave. Was there one more, or was that the only other relation?
That was the only relations I have.
All right, so this is this looks like a child's grave. infant son of Mr. and Mrs. John Maxwell, 1880. Eugenia Maxwell, November 10th, 1862 to April 7th, 1874. Then this one right here is newer. Mary Linton Maxwell, March 20th, 1866 to June 27th, 1915. And then there's just this one more that's up here. John Benson Maxwell, September 1st, 1856 to May 7th, 1909. All right, that's it.
That's it.
Get me out of here. So it went from well-kept enough cemetery to overgrown stuff. So that was,
Yeah, in just a few years, she said.
yeah,
It was maintained until just recently.
yeah, it was.
Recent years.
Yeah, that's not a lot of growth. And those sweet gums aren't weeds, but they grow like
They grow fast.
they grow like they are. Actually, they are weeds, but they're not invasive. They're native. Okay, well, that's more of your relatives here.
Awesome.
Overgrown cemetery.
Yeah, sad, but
Yeah, that was traditional Adventures into History style
Yes.
cemetery right there.
old school.
Yeah. So, big thank you to you coming down
Thank
here and
you.
joining me on video for this, allowing me to document this. And I hope y'all at home enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next adventure.